Sir, 255 will allow, huh?
Okay, sir.
Okay, okay.
ബിജിൻ സർ,
സർ
ഞാൻ മറ്റേത് നോക്കിയിട്ടില്ല, ഇന്ന് ഒട്ടും ടൈം ഇല്ലായിരുന്നു.
അയ്യോ, എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവും സാർ. സാറിന്റെ കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഭയങ്കര സമ്മതിക്കണം കേട്ടോ. എല്ലാം കൂടി അയ്യോ
അവിയല്
എങ്ങനെ
പരുവാ.
മാറ്റി.
നമുക്ക് റൂപശ്രീ മാം ഇന്ന് കാണിച്ച ആ ലെസൺ സംഭവം നമ്മൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കേണ്ടെന്ന് തന്നെ എൻ്റെ അഭിപ്രായം. കാരണം അതിപ്പോഴും കോംപ്ലക്സാ. നമുക്കതല്ലാതെ നമുക്ക് വേറൊരു രീതി ചെയ്യാം. അതായത് ഈ ലെസന്റെ ഇത് നമ്മളൊരു സ്ട്രക്ചേർഡ് രീതിയിൽ, അതായത് അവരാദ്യമേ PPT വായിക്കണം, അതിനുശേഷം ഒരു വീഡിയോ കാണണം, അതിനുശേഷം ഒരു ക്വിസ് എടുക്കണം. അങ്ങനെ സ്ട്രക്ചറിൽ പോകണമെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ മാത്രം മെറ്റഡ് എടുത്താൽ മതി. നമുക്കല്ലാതെ നമ്മുടെ കണ്ടന്റ്സ് ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് അതാ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ എളുപ്പം.
അതെ. നമുക്ക് സാർ ഒരു ദിവസം നമ്മൾ ഇരുന്ന് ചെയ്യാം, സമയമുള്ളപ്പോ സാർ പറഞ്ഞാൽ മതി, നമുക്ക് ഒരു ദിവസം ഇരുന്ന് ചെയ്യാം.
പിന്നെ ഇതിന്റെ ഒരു ഓറിയന്റേഷൻ നമ്മൾ ഒന്നുകൂടെ നടത്തുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ പിന്നെ ഫാക്കൽറ്റീസിന് ഓപ്ഷൻ കൊടുക്കാം, അവർക്ക് ഏതാ ഇഷ്ടമെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അവരതനുസരിച്ച് എടുത്തോട്ടെ. ഞാൻ ഇന്ന് 2 സിസ്റ്റം വെച്ചാ കണക്ട് ചെയ്തേക്കുന്നത്. ഒരു സിസ്റ്റത്തിനകത്ത് മറ്റേ എക്സലിനകത്ത് കുറച്ച് ഓപ്ഷൻസ് വർക്ക് ആവുന്നില്ല, അതിന്റെ വേർഷന്റെ ഒരു പ്രശ്നം കാരണം.
ശരി.
താങ്കളെന്ത് പരിപാടി ഈയിടെയായിട്ട്?
എന്നെ പരിപാടി, എനിക്ക് 3 സബ്ജക്ട് ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ടേ അതിന്റെ എല്ലാത്തിന്റെയും കണ്ടന്റ് ഞാനിപ്പോ സാറിന് മാത്രം പറഞ്ഞത് സബ്സിഡറി ബുക്സ് മാത്രമേ കഴിഞ്ഞുള്ളൂ. ഇനിയിപ്പോ ടാക്സിന്റെ ഒന്നുണ്ട്, പിന്നെ കോർപ്പറേറ്റ് അക്കൗണ്ടിങ്ങിന് ഉണ്ട്. അതങ്ങ് ചെയ്തങ്ങ് അവർക്ക് കൊടുക്കുവാണെങ്കിലേ 15-ാം തീയതി ആകുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ആ പ്രസന്റേഷന്റെ കാര്യം നോക്കാലോ എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ ഇരിക്കാം. അല്ലാതെ വേറെ പരിപാടികൾ ഒന്നും തന്നെ ഇല്ല.
ക്വാറന്റൈൻ എങ്ങനെയുണ്ട്?
ക്വാറന്റൈൻ ശോകമാണ്.
സാധനങ്ങൾ എങ്ങനെയാ വാങ്ങിക്കുന്നത്?
സാധനങ്ങള് ഇല്ല സാർ, ഞാൻ വന്നപ്പോ കുറച്ച് അരിയൊക്കെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നായിരുന്നു, പിന്നെ കുറച്ച് ഉണക്കിറച്ചി പോലുള്ള സംഭവങ്ങളൊക്കെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോ ഉള്ളത് വെച്ച് പിന്നെ കുറച്ച് സ്നാക്സും അരിയുണ്ടയും ഒക്കെ കൊണ്ടുവന്നായിരുന്നു. അപ്പൊ അതൊക്കെ വെച്ച് അഡ്ജസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യപ്പോ.
ശരി. താങ്കൾ രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്തില്ലായിരുന്നു അല്ലേ?
ഞാൻ രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല, ഞാൻ ഫീഡ്ബാക്ക് സബ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്യാം.
ഇന്ന് നോക്കിയപ്പോഴാ ഓർത്തത്.
ശരി. ഞാൻ പിന്നെ അതിന്റെ പേയ്മെന്റിന്റെ സംഭവം ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് പിന്നെ ഞാനത് രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യാതിരുന്നേ.
Ajit sir, okay. Okay, a very good afternoon to all the participants. Hearty welcome to the third day of the FDP on advanced data analysis using spreadsheet. We shall be starting off with our session for today in another 5 minutes. We are waiting for some more participants to join our session. We request your cooperation until then. Thank you. Data sets for today's session with all of you in the email. We've also shared the handouts of yesterday's session with you in the email as well. And as it was informed earlier, we are in the process of uploading the session recordings on YouTube, and we shall be happy to share the links with all of you. However, there's a slight delay because sometimes the editing work may consume some amount of time. So we are hoping that we should be able to at least upload the first few sessions videos latest by tomorrow. Since tomorrow being the last day, we will be sharing the feedback sessions, feedback forms of the FTP session with all of you. And we'll also be doing one more round of data collection with all the participants, because we noticed there were some inconsistencies in with respect to the data that you had furnished at the time of registration. So we will be doing one more round of data collection through the feedback form, where we'll be collecting your complete name, designation, institutions, so that we will be preparing the certificates for you based on the information that you're providing. So we request all the participants to provide the accurate information as a part of the FTP session for tomorrow. The links will be shared through you in an email through Google Form. That will be happening at the end of tomorrow's session. The links will be shared with you through your emails. It would not be shared in the WhatsApp group. It would be shared to you individually, personally through your emails. So we request you to provide the accurate information in the feedback form, so that we could go ahead and prepare your certificates based on the information that that you're providing to the college. Okay, so before we start off with today's session, let's do a quick recap of what we had covered as a part of yesterday. In yesterday's session, we had covered quite a few advanced options. As a part of yesterday's session, we had covered options. Uh, we had covered formulas such as match, index, etc. And then we also learned how we could use a combination of match as well as index, and then we could produce the results that we desire. Today's session, we will be moving on from there. As a part of today's session, I will be starting off today's session with a concept called as data validation. So today's concept, I will be starting off with a concept called as data validation. I request all of you to turn over to the data sheets which have been shared to you. Please turn over to the data sheets which have been shared with all of you. Let me bring up the Excel screen share here for you. There's a slight inconsistency with respect to the order with which I've structured the sheets for you. So data validation hyphen list. I want all of you to turn over to that. Actually, there was a small we had made a small mistake in terms of structuring the sheets, so it was pushed towards the end. It is a second last sheet in your workbook that says FTP datasets day 3. Okay, so please turn over to the second last sheet. The name of the sheet is data validation hyphen list. Okay, please turn over to the sheet that says data validation hyphen list. Okay, so I hope all of you have brought up that sheet on the screen. And let me also start the screen share. I hope this screen share for the Excel here for you. Okay, so now today's class, as a part of today's session, we would be learning a concept which is called as data validation. Data validation by itself is a huge concept. We will not be able to cover all the aspects of data validation. But however, since I have to cover a part of data validation, where today I have to cover a part of H lookup and V lookup with the application of data validation. I thought I will cover only the concept of data validation list. I will be covering only the concept of data validation using list. Okay, so like I had informed, data validation by itself is a huge concept. We may not be able to cover all the concepts as a part of the scope of this FTP, but since we will be learning a permutation and combination of data validation with the other formulas, it will be good if we cover that over here. So in Excel, we have an option where we could create drop downs. Okay? We could create drop downs, and we could provide the user with the possible inputs that they have to select from the drop downs. Okay, so in Excel, we have a wonderful option which is called as data validation list. Using this option, we will be able to create an input interface for the user of our workbook or worksheet, where they could select a suitable option that we desire from a drop down. Now, I will explain, or I will show you how you can go about creating a data validation. Once you have your data sheets open, you have to go to the tab that says data. Okay, on top, you would see an option that says, you should see a tab that says data. Please go to that option, and then you would see an option that says data validation. Okay, so in your data tab, you will see an option that says data validation. Okay, you would see an option that says data validation. Please click on this. Now, in your data validation, they would say validation criteria. So you can set different criterias based on which you can create an option where a user will get an option only to enter the desired data. Okay, so let's say you want only numbers to be entered into your cell. So you can restrict that using data validation. Or you want only text. to be entered your cell. You can customize that using data validation. But like I explained, data validation by itself is a huge concept, and we may not be able to cover all the concepts of data validation within the scope of today's FTP. But what we need is data validation using lists. So that is what I will be covering. Okay, so from this drop down, you will see an option that says list. Okay, you would see an option that says list. Please click on that list. Okay, please click on that list. Now, once you have selected this list, then you have to mention what are the options you would like to give to your users. So let's say, let me just give you an example of a very simple data validation. I will say yes and then comma no. Okay, yes, comma no. Okay, yes, comma no, and I'm going to say okay. Now see what happens. Now the structure of my cell changed, and if you notice, there's a radio button right next to my cell, and over here I'm getting a drop down, and now I'm getting an option to click yes, and I'm getting an option to say no. Okay, I'm getting an option to click yes, and I'm getting an option to click and say no. Okay, so this is how we could go about creating a very simple data validation option. Okay, this is a very simple option, or this is a very simple way by which we can go about creating a very simple data validation. Okay, this is how we could go about selecting data validation. In the meanwhile, I think I'm getting a couple of feedbacks from the users saying that the audio feedback is very less. So let me just try and make some changes here for you. And if someone can quickly give me a feedback on the chat, is there any change in terms of the sound? Okay, is there any change in terms of the sound? If those people who are complaining, if you could please quickly give me a feedback. Okay, thank you. So okay, so I've just got an update saying that it has improved right now. And let me also just quickly open up my Zoom here. Zoom platform has an option where it does an automatic volume adjustment for the microphone. So let me just disable that. And yeah, is there any improvement in the voice? If someone can quickly give me. Okay, so a couple of people have given me a feedback saying that it has improved. Thank you so much. Okay, so there was another feedback saying that every time my hand moves, there was the voice volume drops. So I think it is because of the Zoom setting. There's an option in Zoom audio setting that says automatically adjust volume. So I have disabled that. So I'm hoping there should be some more improvements in the audio level. Okay, so thank you for quickly providing that feedback. So let's get back to what we were discussing. We were discussing the concept of data validation, and we have created a very simple data validation over here using yes and a no. Now, what if you want to create a data validation using more than these two? Okay, so in such cases, you can come down to data validation criteria, change that to list, and then you have to manually type out all the options. Okay, so you have to manually type out all the options. So let's say agree, not applicable, comma, disagree, comma, needs improvement, so and so forth. Okay, so I've increased now from 2, I've increased this to 4 options. And if you notice, when I come back to my data validation in the radio button, you can see all the 4 options that I have mentioned over here. Now, what if you want data validation more than this? Okay, so sometimes what happens is it becomes a little inconvenient for us to type out all the possible options. Okay, it becomes a little inconvenient for us to type out all the possible options. So in such cases, what you can do is select list, okay, and then source. In the source option, you would see this radio button at the side. Please click on that, and then select the list of items you want it to be displayed in the drop down. So here I had a couple of locations that I had mentioned. So Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai. I had a couple of options that I had mentioned, which is already pre-typed for me. So I have selected this as a part of the source of my data validation. And I'm going to click on here and I'm going to say, okay. So notice all that I have mentioned as a part of the drop down in my table, it is all reflecting here. Okay, it is all reflecting here. So I just want to quickly let you know your data validation option is available in data tab on your menu, and then you would see data validation here on top. Now, depending on the version of Excel that you're using, the placement of this option called as data validation would slightly vary. If you're using a lower version, it may not be readily available like this, but however, it would be still structured under the menu option that says data. So if you just look out for this simple, you would be able to find data validation immediately. So I just created a data validation based on all the locations that I have typed over here. Also, another beautiful thing about this data validation option is that any changes you make to your data set, okay, so any changes you make to your data set, it would be immediately reflecting in your it will be immediately reflecting in your data validation list. Okay, it would be immediately reflecting in your data validation list. So I will give you a demonstration of how to set data validation once again. So please select the cell where you would like your data validation to show up or reflect. Okay, then go to your data tab on top, data validation. Again, select this. Okay, then from this drop down, data validation criteria, allow. From here, please select list. Okay, source, click on this radio button here and then point your source. Again, click here and then say okay. So that gives you your data validation. Okay, now I'll give you a minute or two to practice. Please select please prepare a data validation for the departments. Okay, so these departments that you see over here, please prepare a data validation for this. Okay, please prepare a data validation for this. I shall pause here maybe for a minute or two. And please, I request all of you to please keep up with speed because we've got much to cover as a part of today's session. So I request all of you to please keep up the speed. Got some responses back from the participants. Some of you've already done that. I'm quite happy. And I also happened to notice there was one participant who was mentioning that you don't see data validation in your system, and you're using Office 365. I hope you were able to find the data tab. Okay, so I've got an update from the participant. The participant was able to identify. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think by now most of you were able to practice and were able to carry out the data validation. Now let's move on. Now the next topic that we're going to be covering is the functionality of VLOOKUP. Okay, so I want all of you to turn over to the first sheet in your Excel workbook, data sets for today. And let me just quickly bring up my presentation as well. Okay, so today's class, we have finished data validation. Now, the next topic that we are going to be covering is the concept of VLOOKUP. Okay, so the concept of VLOOKUP. Now, I just heads up to all the participants. The topics that we would be handling as a part of today's session, it is slightly advanced and it is also a little complex to understand. So I request all of you to please pay attention very closely. Please pay attention very closely. Now, VLOOKUP is actually a lookup functionality that we would be using, and we would be using VLOOKUP when we want Excel to do a vertical lookup. Okay, we would be using VLOOKUP option when we want Excel to do a vertical lookup from a table or from an array of data. Okay, and we have supplied Excel with an array of data, and we expect Excel to do a vertical lookup from the array. That's when we would be using the VLOOKUP functionality. Okay, so the syntax is VLOOKUP, open bracket, we have to specify the lookup value, comma, then we have to define the table array, then we have to define the column or the index number where our desired value is located. Okay, so let's quickly carry out a demonstration using this. So let's all go back to the Excel sheet. Please bring up the Excel sheet. Okay, and I want all of you to please focus on the data set here. Now, in my data set, let me just quickly explain the data set to you. The data set contains the marks of some students for 2 subjects, which is accounts and marketing. Okay, the data set that I've supplied you as a part of the exercise for VLOOKUP, what we would be covering is we have the marks of a couple of students, and we have their roll number, we have their name, and then we have their marks for accounting and marketing subjects. Now, what I want here is when I type in the roll number here, Excel should automatically give me the marketing mark here. So let's say if I type in roll number 2, the mark corresponding to the student 2 and the mark for marketing, it should be displaying over here. Okay, it should be displaying over here. Now, before I explain the formula to you, let me explain how VLOOKUP works. So in this case, my lookup value is the roll number. Okay, the lookup value for me in this case is my roll number. In my data array also, I have the roll number. Okay, now using this as a lookup value. Okay, so what Excel will have to do is Excel will have to look through this entire data array, then locate where roll number 2 is displayed. Okay, so once it has identified roll number 2, Excel has to throw back and give me the marketing mark here. Okay, Excel has to display the marks of marketing subject over here. So this is how it should be working. Now, the reference or the lookup value for Excel to carry out this functionality is the roll number. Okay, it is the roll number. So whenever you structure your data for the application of VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, you have to always remember your data array should start with your lookup value. Okay, so it should always start with your lookup value. Only then this functionality will fully work. Okay, only then this functionality will fully work. Okay, so now let's start. The syntax for VLOOKUP starts with is equal to VLOOKUP. Okay, VLOOKUP, open bracket. Now the first thing that I have to define is my lookup value. So the lookup value I will be providing in this cell H2. Okay? The lookup value I will be providing in the cell H2, comma. Now I have to define my data array. Okay, now I have to define my data array. So my data array is this. Okay, this is my data array. I'm selecting the complete data set because the mark that I desire, which is the mark for marketing, is the last column here. Okay, it is the last column here, comma. Now I have to specify the column index number. Okay, so I have to specify the column index number. So how do I identify the column index number? My lookup value in the data array is my roll number. From the roll number, which column is marketing marks placed at? So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. It is at the 4th column. Okay, it is at the 4th column. So I have to mention in numerically which column is my marketing mark mentioned. So what I did was I manually counted from roll number, which is my lookup value, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, comma. Now I have to mention what kind of a match I want Excel to carry out. I want Excel to carry out, if I want Excel to carry out an approximate match, I can mention that as true. If I want Excel to carry out an exact match, then I can have to mention that as false. So I've mentioned that as false because I want it to do an exact match. And let me see what has happened. So Excel has brought back the mark over here as 46. Okay. Now let me show you what happens if I were to change the roll number. From 2, if I change the roll number to 9, notice what happens. So the mark immediately changed. So Excel has looked up the roll number that I have given here as input was roll number 9. When Excel went back to my data array, looked up, found that roll number 9 is located here. From the roll number 9, fourth column, which is this marketing mark, and it has given me that as a response over here. Okay, it has given me as a response over here. So let me change this to, let's say, 4. Let me see what happens. Okay, so immediately Excel has done the lookup and it has displayed the marketing mark corresponding to roll number 4. Okay, so I'll repeat the formula once again for you for the benefit of those of you who was not able to keep up. The syntax is equal to we look up, open bracket, mention your lookup value. Where is your lookup value? Where are you going to enter your lookup value? Okay, where exactly you're going to enter your lookup value. Let's say I'm going to enter my lookup value over here. You can give that as a response, comma, select your data array. So I'm selecting my complete data array over here, comma, then column index number. So for me, in this case, the column which has the marketing marks is the fourth column from the roll number. So I mentioned that as 4, comma, false. Okay, and I'm going to close the bracket. Now here it has given me not applicable because I had changed my input value. So my input value was here, and the moment I enter an input value here, it will correspondingly give me the marks over here. Okay, it will correspondingly give me the marks over here. Okay, so now let's try and write the VLOOKUP formula for this particular exercise over here. So here what I want is the accounting marks. I will mention my roll number here. It has to give me the accounting marks. So let's stop this off. The syntax is equal to we look up, open bracket, okay, open bracket. I'm going to mention the roll number here. So that is my lookup value, comma, define my array. So this is my array. Now, if needed, I can choose until here or accounting marks, because even if I select marketing mark, it will not make any difference because I'm interested in the accounting mark. So it is not necessary that you have to select the full data array. Even if you were to select the full data array, it would not bring any harm. Okay? There is no harm even if you select the complete data set, comma. Now I have to identify the column index for my accounting marks. So from my roll number, accounting marks, let me count manually. 1, 2, 3. So accounting is at the third column. Accounting marks are mentioned in the third column. So it's going to be comma 3, comma false, since I want an exact match. And let me close the bracket and press enter. It has given me back as not applicable. That's because I have not given the roll number input over here. So let me bring in the roll number input. I'm going to change this to 1 and see what happens. Okay, so it's telling me the first roll number has got 18 as the accounting marks. Let me try and change this. Let me change that to 3. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there it is 25. Okay, so there it is 25. Okay, so I hope all of you got an understanding about how exactly to apply VLOOKUP functionality. VLOOKUP functionality you can use in the cases where you have a very complex data and then you want it to. In the meanwhile, I got a quick question in my where they have asked me for an example with true option. True option, now in this case, whether I use true or false, it would not make any impact. Reason being, my data is as such. Okay, my data is as such. But there are certain cases where it would make a huge impact. So, for example, when you're using complex data sets, or let's say common names like this. Let's say Aman and Amandeep. Okay, so let's say you have a student by the name and you have another student by the name Amandeep. So here, if you use false, what will happen is when Excel does the lookup, so Excel does a vertical lookup. So how Excel will be running is Excel will be running from top to bottom. But if you define it as false, then what will happen is it will not do an exact match. It will do an approximate match. So Amandeep and Aman, in Amandeep, there's already an Aman. Okay, there's already an Aman. So what Excel will do is, let's say in your data array, you want Excel to do a lookup of Amandeep, but Excel does a lookup like this and reaches Aman, it'll give you the value corresponding to Aman. It will not go down and see if there is Amandeep present. Okay, so if you want Excel to do a precise match on the input input value that you're defining, okay, you want Excel to do a exact match on the input value that you're doing, I suggest you to use that as false. But if you define that as false, if you define this as true, and you want Excel to do a lookup for Amandeep, what Excel will do is Excel will start vertically from top, and by the time it reaches Aman, since you said you only want an approximate match, it will give you the value corresponding to Aman. It will not look out for Amandeep. Okay, so to the participant who had asked me that question on true option, what happens if we true option? I have explained your query, but unfortunately the data set that I have selected here, it does not support this kind of a query. Okay, so probably if you could drop me mail, I'll be happy to prepare some data set like this and then share it with you, and then you could try this for yourself and see. So another example would be something like Raj and then Rajesh. So Raj and Rajesh. So if you give true, then Excel will do an approximate match because Rajesh contains a Raj. So it is doing an approximate match. Okay, it is doing an approximate match. So please remember, Excel is a software. It is working based on the inputs that you're defining. Okay, so Excel understood that what you're desiring is that you only want an approximate match. You do not want an exact match. So in such cases, you have to, depending on the kind of data that you're handling, you have to be a little careful how you're defining these parameters. Now, in this case, since I don't have any similar values, even if I were to use true or false, it would hardly make a difference. Okay, it would hardly make a difference. Okay. Now, as a practice, I want all of you to try the last option. I want all of you to try the VLOOKUP to write, to bring up, you will give the roll number and it has to display the corresponding name. Okay. Please try this exercise. We will input the roll number over here and it has to give the corresponding name over here. Okay. So please try this. I shall pause here for a minute or two while you practice that. So I hope all of you managed to try that, and I hope you've got the results that you desired. Here, when you're writing the VLOOKUP formula for looking out for the name, what you have to, the only thing that you have to remember in mind is that you have to change your column index. So from roll number, your name is the second column. Okay, your name would be the second column. So that would be the only change that would be from the previous examples that we had dealt with. Okay, that would be the only change with respect to the previous examples that we had dealt with. Okay, so with that note, let's go ahead and let's move on to the next formula, the next formula that we have to learn as a part of today's session. So we've already done the lookup, we've already done the demonstration using VLOOKUP. Okay, now the next formula that we are going to be learning is the HLOOKUP. Okay, the next formula that we are going to be learning is the HLOOKUP. So please remember, VLOOKUP does a vertical lookup. Okay, VLOOKUP does a vertical lookup. Now, what if you have a data set and you want Excel to do a horizontal lookup? You want Excel to move across the in a horizontal direction. So in such cases, we have to use the functionality of HLOOKUP. Okay, in such cases, we will be using the functionality of HLOOKUP. So if you want Excel to move in a horizontal manner, you would be using the option of HLOOKUP. So let's go back to our data set. Okay, let's go back to our data set. And all of you, please turn your attention to the sheet that says HLOOKUP. Okay, please turn over to that option that says HLOOKUP. So over here in this particular data set, it's a data set which has some facts about some cricketers, and it has the player number, it has the name of the cricketer, and it has the runs the person has scored, maybe as a part of a match. So what I want to do over here is I will mention the roll number, the player number here, and then it should give me a corresponding runs over here. Yeah, so I will input the player number over here, and the corresponding runs it has to display over here. Now I cannot use a VLOOKUP here because my data now is structured horizontally, structured vertically, unlike the previous case. Here my data was structured vertically. Here I cannot use a VLOOKUP, it will not work because my data is now arranged horizontally, it is not arranged vertically. So the syntax is very similar. Okay, so here it is going to be is equal to h look up open bracket, h lookup open bracket, a lookup value. So for my lookup value, I will be mentioning over here, I will be giving the input of the player number, comma, now my data array. Okay, so my data array, this is my data array, comma, now I have to mention the row index. Okay, row index. So now what I want is the runs. Okay, so from player number, at which row is the runs data located? So 1, 2, 3. It is at the third row. Okay, it is at the third row. So I'm going to mention that as 3. Okay, comma, and I will mention this as false because I want an exact match. I will mention this as false, comma. Okay, and let's press enter. Okay. Now let me give the inputs of the players over here. So let me write as 10. Okay, it is 75. Okay, so player 10, let's see, player 10 in our data set, it is Anil, and he has scored 75 runs. Let me change this. Let me change this to 3. Okay, so 3 at third position, player number 3 is Sachin, and he has scored 389 runs, and which is what is displaying over here. Let me repeat the formula once again for you. The formula is equal to h lookup. Okay, h lookup. Why are we using h lookup? The reason why we are using h lookup here is because now my data is structured horizontally. Okay, my data is now being structured horizontally. I no longer can use a VLOOKUP because considering the arrangement of my data. Okay, so it is h lookup. My lookup value I'll be mentioning over here, comma, defining my data array. This entire thing is my data array, comma, runs is now located at the third row. So comma 3, comma, I'll mention this as false because I want an exact match. Close the bracket and let me press enter and see what happens. So it has come back with the runs. Now let me change this. Let me change this to 5 and see what happens. So Dravid was player number 5 and he has scored 0 runs. Okay, so I hope all of you have got an understanding about what is meant by HLOOKUP. HLOOKUP is very similar. If you've understood the concept of VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP should be would be a piece of cake for you. It will be extremely easy for you to follow. Okay, so as a practice, I want all of you to try out the next exercise. So over here is I will give the player number here, and I want Excel to give me the corresponding name of the cricket player. Okay? So I will mention the player number here, and it should give me the name of the cricketer over here. Okay, so I shall pause here maybe for a minute or two, and I want all of you to try this exercise. Okay, I want all of you to try this exercise. In the meanwhile, I started getting some responses. Some of the participants have already completed. If there's any participant who's having a hard time or a difficulty, you can raise your hands. I'll be more than happy to clarify your doubt. If you're having any difficulty or any queries, please raise your hand. I'll be happy to maybe pause here for a minute and then clarify your doubts. Are there any participants who are having any doubts or any queries? If that's not the case, then we shall proceed. Okay, in the meanwhile, there was a query that I got. The query was that what we have done using VLOOKUP, can we do that using index and match? Yes, you can simulate the same using index and match. We had actually learned that yesterday, but again, it depends on the kind of data that you're dealing with. Also, compared to index, combination of index and match, VLOOKUP is a much simpler formula. Okay, compared to combination of index and match, VLOOKUP is a much simpler formula. And now, please remember, index will give you the response based on the coordinates that you're giving. So if index has to work, index has to know the row number as well as the column number. Okay, so you may not. What happens over there is you have to write the index for looking up for the value, and then you have to write two sets of matches to define your coordinates. This was exactly what we did as a part of yesterday's exercise. Okay, so over there, the complexity of the formula has slightly gone up because you're writing one more addition, or you're writing two additional matches. Yes, you will get the same result. In fact, in Excel, what happens is it actually depends on the person who is preparing the reports or the templates. It depends on how or what their thought process is. Okay, so if a person believes in making the formulas and the structure of the data sheet very simple, then they would go for VLOOKUP. But if it's a person who enjoys complex structuring, in such cases they would do a combination of match as well as index. Now, as a part of the next exercise that we are going to do, I will demonstration where we can use VLOOKUP in tandem with match. Okay, so we will apply VLOOKUP as well as match, and we see how we can get a result. Now, in the meanwhile, I just want to point out that when we had discussed VLOOKUP has got a slight drawback. Okay, VLOOKUP has a small drawback, and I'll tell you what the drawback is. The drawback is this: the column index number you should define. Okay? You should be in a position to define the column index number. So what does that mean? Now I'll explain that with the data set. Okay? So here, when we spoke about looking up for these marks, okay, so I should know which column number is my accounting or marketing or name located from my roll number. Only then VLOOKUP will work. Okay, so VLOOKUP has got a portion of its formula which is static in nature. Okay, it does not give us the flexibility of being dynamic. Okay, now here I want all of you to turn your attention to the data sheet that says VLOOKUP and match. Okay, VLOOKUP and match. I want all of you to turn your attention to that option that says VLOOKUP and match. So over here, I have defined actually a complex data scenario. Here, I have two sets of inputs. One input is I will give the roll number. Second input is I will define the subject also. Okay, I will give the roll number and I will give the subject also. So using these two, it should give me a mark over here. Okay, so like the previous participant had asked, we can do this using index and match. But the drawback with combination of index and match is your formula is becoming complex. So I will simplify this for you with the use of VLOOKUP and match. Okay, I will simplify this for you with a combination of VLOOKUP and match. So how do we do this? Let's start off with this is equal to VLOOKUP. Okay, VLOOKUP open bracket, VLOOKUP open bracket. Now one of my lookup value is my roll number. So I'm going to select that. One of my lookup value is my roll number. Select that, comma. Now I have to define my array. I have to define my data array. So my data array ranges from A2 till E9. Okay, my data array ranges from A2 to A9. Now I have to define the column index. Okay, I have to define the column index. Now, if I wanted name, then it will be 2. Okay, if I wanted it to be name, it will be 2. If I want accounting, it will be 3. If I want marketing, it will be 4. If I want HR, it is 5. But VLOOKUP does not have a dynamic element. It is static. So I have to either define like 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to give a fixed number. I cannot expect VLOOKUP to be dynamic. So I'm going to bring in a dynamic factor over here. So I'm going to introduce match formula. I'm going to introduce match formula. Match open bracket. Okay, so my match has to be done based on my subject. So subject I'll be specifying here, which is my H3. Okay, so my subject I will be specifying in H3, comma. Now, based on what will Excel carry out a match? So it will carry out a match based on my subject names, which are mentioned over here. So I'm selecting A1 to E9. Okay, I'm selecting A1 to E9, comma. I want it to do an exact match, so I'm going to mention that as 0. Close the bracket. Okay, so I'm just done with my match formula, comma. And I have to define the criteria for VLOOKUP. Okay, I have to define the criteria for VLOOKUP. For VLOOKUP also, I want Excel to do an exact match. So that's going to be false. And I'm going to close the bracket and I'm going to press enter. Okay, now let's see what happens. So let me type over here A03. And here I'm going to type this as HR. Okay, so now what it has done is it has identified roll number 3, and since I wanted HR marks, it has found HR and it has displayed the thing over here. Okay, so I'll try and change and bring in another roll number. Let me bring in A08 and let's see what happens. Okay, so that changes dynamically. Now let's say, what if I change my subject? Okay, let me see what if I change my subject. Okay, it comes back as 93. Okay, it comes back as 93. Okay, so in the meanwhile, there was a question, sir, can we use OR formula instead of match? Unfortunately, here you cannot use an OR formula instead of match because please remember, we are trying to fulfill the requirement of VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP needs the column reference. Okay, now the column reference can be given only by match. OR is a logical operator. You give two scenarios, okay, like scenario 1, scenario 2. Okay, so OR functionality will evaluate scenario 1, scenario 2, and then it'll give an input. So this would not be an appropriate option or an appropriate scenario where we can use OR. This is not an appropriate option place where we can use OR. Logical operators, the ideal place for us to use logical operators is with an if. Okay, the ideal place for us to use logical operators is with a if. Now, the only substitute that we can find for this particular scenario is a match because we need the column reference number. Okay, so because depending on my input over here, so I can change, let's say, I can even change this to name. Okay, I can change this to name. See, it is coming back with a name response. So A8, the name is Kohli. Okay, or let's say I want it to be marketing. So here the scenario is that depending on the input, dynamic input that I'm giving over here, it should change correspondingly here. Okay, so this may not be an appropriate place for us to use OR. The best possible match in this context is a match formula. Okay, so I hope I have explained that, and I hope all of you have followed. Is there any person who has a doubt? I think there's one person who has raised their hand. So let me just quickly unmute you. Ma'am, you could try and unmute yourself and then speak. Ma'am, we have unmuted you. You could try and... Hello, ma'am. Okay, so while we try and get a response from ma'am, let me just quickly try and answer one question that came up in the chat box over here. So once we select the subject from A1 to A, it is expected to be in the same font, right? For example, I tried subject caps locks and it says not applicable. So now there was one small thing that has happened in your case, sir. So when I had defined my data array, I had selected it from A2. I didn't select it from A1. Okay, I selected it from A2. Okay, and I think when you had mentioned it is not cap sensitive. Okay, it is not cap sensitive. So probably you may have made a slight mistake somewhere, or maybe as a part of your match formula, you may have maybe used an approximate match or an exact match. So just try and see if you can work this out. But in my case, so here I had given, so as you can see on the example over here, here I had defined in lower case or proper casing, and my input was in upper casing. So, but it still gives me a result. Okay, so casing should not really matter. And there was another participant. Okay, let me just try and unmute. Ma'am, you can mute yourself, ma'am. You can unmute yourself. Okay, so we've left ma'am a message. Let's see if ma'am responds back. So in the meanwhile, I hope all the participants have got an understanding how we could use a combination of match as well as VLOOKUP. Now, here's something that I would like all of you to do. I want all of you to try and set up a data validation for roll number and subject, and let Excel and then write the VLOOKUP and match formula over here so that it could give you a response. Okay, so please try and create a data validation in I2 and I2 for roll number, I3 for a subject. And please try and write the formula over here just to see if you can, if you have got a hang of how you could use VLOOKUP and match together. Okay, so I shall pause here for a minute. So first thing is you have to set up the data validation. You have to set up a data validation for you have to set up a data validation for your roll number. Then you have to set up a data validation for your subject, and then you have to write the formula taking these two as your inputs. So I shall pause here maybe for a minute or two, and I want all of you to give this a try. In the meanwhile, got a request from a participant to repeat the combination of VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. Let me just quickly explain that here for you. Here what is going to happen is we will be inputting the roll number, and here we will be specifying the subject. Okay, so now we want Excel to do a lookup based on these two inputs. Okay, based on these two inputs. So how exactly will I do this? I will use is equal to VLOOKUP open bracket. Okay, now one of my input value is this. Okay, which is my vertical lookup value. Then I will define my array. My array is A2 to E9, A2 to E9, comma. Now I have to define the column reference. Okay, I have to define the column reference. But column reference, I have one small challenge over here. The challenge is this, that in my case, I want the column index number to be dynamic in nature. Okay, I want the column index to be dynamic in nature. So previous examples, all that we explained, we spoke about applying VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP with static. It was static in nature. It is not dynamic in nature. So how do I make this dynamic? For this, I have to bring in another formula, which is match. Match we had learned as a part of yesterday. Okay, so I'll bring in another formula, match. Match we had learned yesterday, and we also learned the parameters for match. So match, and my lookup value is here, comma. Okay, then I will specify my subject name details over here, comma, 0, because I want it to be an exact match. So far I've closed the bracket. So far what I've written is the formula input for my match, formula. Okay, but my VLOOKUP is still not over, comma, then false, since I want an exact match. Okay, false, since I want an exact match, close the bracket and press enter. So now what Excel is doing is I'm giving Excel two sets of input. One input is my roll number, the other input is my subject. So Excel will be doing a lookup based on these two inputs. Excel will be carrying out a lookup based on these two inputs. So one input is my roll number and the other input is my subject. So let me just try and change this and give you a demonstration what happens. I'm going to change this to A07. Notice A07 is Robin, and Robin scored 51 for HR. Okay, now let me try and change this to, let's say, accounts and see what happens. So Robin scored 94 in accounts. Okay, so we can use a combination of VLOOKUP and match when we want to give two sets of dynamic. Okay, but when you have one dynamic and one static, you will use VLOOKUP alone. Okay, we will use VLOOKUP alone. Okay. So, sir, I hope I've explained VLOOKUP and match to you, and I hope that you've understood. And in the meanwhile, the exercise that I've given the participants, I hope all of you attempted it. So what you should have done is you should have created a data validation here for your roll number. How you would have done that is data validation, list, then select the criteria. The criteria is your roll number. Okay, close this. Then, so you've set up one data validation for your roll number. Second data validation you have to set up for your subject. So how do you do that? Data validation, list, source, select your source. Now, in this case, I want to mention only the subject. So I'm just going to mention, okay, I'm just going to select these three. Okay, close this and then say, okay. So now I have created a data validation for the roll number. I've created a data validation for my subject. Now I have to write the lookup formula. So is equal to v lookup, open bracket. Okay, so this is going to be my lookup. So we made a spelling mistake. V look up, open bracket. This is my lookup value for roll number. This is my array, comma, and I want it to be an exact. So now I have to write the match formula, open bracket, match. It's going to be based on the subject I'm defining. So that is here, comma. My match array is defined over here, comma, 0, close this bracket, comma. Again, I mention the criteria for VLOOKUP, which is false. Okay, so press enter. Okay, now let me see what happens. And from the drop down, I'm going to select this as A05 and I want marketing. So depending on the inputs that I'm giving with my data validation, my marks will change correspondingly. Okay, so you could use a combination of the tools that we are using, and you could actually automate most of your reporting activities. Okay, you could actually automate most of your reporting activities. Okay, so all of you've got the results. I hope you've got a result in this manner for the exercise that I had given. Okay, I hope all of you managed to do this. Now, the last topic that I'll be covering as a part of today's session is a topic which is called as XLOOKUP. Okay, it's going to be a topic which is called as XLOOKUP. Now, XLOOKUP, it is actually one of the most advanced lookup functionalities which has been given by Microsoft. Okay, now this functionality may not work in your PC. The functioning of this functionality will depend on the version of Microsoft Office that you'll be using. If you're using a licensed version where you are actually eligible to receive updates and you're using 2016 and above, only then this functionality may work for you. I'm not very confident if you're using a lower version, and especially if you're using what do you say, a cracked version, this may not work for you. So in such cases, please do not panic. But the reason why I wanted to cover XLOOKUP is because XLOOKUP actually solves most of the problems or most of the complexities that we face with respect to with our data sets. Okay, so it is actually a combination. It solves. It is a much simpler version of lookup which Microsoft has introduced. So for carrying out this demonstration of XLOOKUP, I have also changed my system, because on the previous system that I was using, it was version 2013, and that does not support. Okay, that does not support. So here I want all of you to turn over to the data set that says XLOOKUP, and what you could do is on your Excels, you could just type in is equal to XLOOKUP, and if you see that it is getting auto populated in this manner, if you notice that you're getting an auto population of the formula in this manner, it means that the version that you're using supports XLOOKUP. Okay, this confirms that the version of Excel that you're using supports XLOOKUP. Okay, so what you could do is just scroll over to any cell, is equal to XLOOKUP, and if you notice that you're getting an auto population in this manner, it means that your system supports XLOOKUP. If you're not able to locate this, please do not panic. It's just that your version of Office does not support XLOOKUP. Okay, so I think it has hardly been 3 or 4 months since the time Microsoft has actually introduced this functionality, and it actually it is a very simple lookup formula, and I feel it is my responsibility to make sure that all of you are well versed, at least you're aware of the functionality called as XLOOKUP. That's the reason why I'm planning, and I was thinking of covering over here. Okay, so now what actually XLOOKUP does is XLOOKUP. It covers, it is a combination of XLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, match, index, all these functionalities together. So let's say here I have a data set, and in this data set, I'm going to type in the location over here, and it has to give me the corresponding name of the person who's at this location. Okay, it has to give me the corresponding name of the person who is at this location. Now, using this data set, it will be very difficult for me to try and do this functionality using HLOOKUP or VLOOKUP. I may have to use a complex combination of index and match. Using my VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP, I will not be able to carry out this functionality. Using this existing data, I can actually go ahead and do using index and match. Or what I will have to do is I'll have to restructure my data in this manner. I will have to copy my names. I have to bring it over here. Then I can write a VLOOKUP. It will work. Okay, but with my data as it is, my VLOOKUP will not work. Okay? With my data set as it is, my VLOOKUP will not work. So let's say if I type in the location over here as Patna, okay, what I'm expecting Excel to do is Excel should give me the name of the person who is at Patna location. Okay, so this I can carry out using XLOOKUP. So how I will be using XLOOKUP is equal to XLOOKUP, open bracket, lookup value. This is my lookup value. Okay, now I have to define where my lookup value is located. So my lookup array is my location. So I will select this. Okay, I will select this, comma. Then my return array. So what is it that I want? I want name to be reflected. What I'm wanting is I want name to be reflected. So that is located in this array. That is A2 to A9. Okay, close the bracket. Okay, so Manish is at Patna. Okay, so I'll repeat it once again, is equal to X look up. Okay, open bracket, select your lookup value, comma, select the array where your lookup value is located, comma. Now, which is your return value? Select that. Okay, close the bracket, press enter. Okay, now let me try and change this. Let me change this to Bangalore and see what happens. Okay, it's John. Okay, so John is located at Bangalore. Now, let's say instead of name, I want Excel to give me the employee ID number. So I just have to change my return array. So return array, I'll select this. This is my return array. Close the bracket. Okay, and this. So it's ID number A09 who's staying at Bangalore. Okay, let me try and change this. Let me try and change this to Delhi. Okay, so A08. Okay, so this is one of the latest and in fact the most advanced lookup formula that has been introduced by Microsoft, and it's hardly been 2 or 3 months since they have actually released this functionality, this formula through their updates. Okay, so just in case if you're enjoying a higher version of Excel, Microsoft Excel, you could leverage on these new releases and you could take advantage of it. Okay, so are there any queries with regards to today's sessions? I'll be happy to spare a few minutes to answer your queries. Okay, I just quickly got a question here. The question was if I could explain this again. So I just want to clarify, sir, are you talking about XLOOKUP? Kalyan sir, is it for XLOOKUP that you want the explanation again? Okay, sure. I'll be happy to explain this. So what I'm desiring over here is I will mention the location. Corresponding to the location, I want Excel to give me the name. Okay, so I will mention the location over here, and corresponding to that, it has to give me the name. Now, one drawback with VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP is VLOOKUP, the direction with which it will be moving is top to bottom, and it will be moving sideways. So your lookup value has to be at the beginning of your data set. Okay, so in this case, my lookup value is location. So using this data set as it is, if I write a VLOOKUP, it will not work. Okay, so if I still need to use a VLOOKUP here, I will have to restructure my data. How will I restructure my data? I will have to copy this name. I will have to paste the name over here. Okay, I will have to paste the name over here. Now, if I write a VLOOKUP, it will work. Okay, now if I write a VLOOKUP, it will work. Okay, but this is a major drawback. So over the years, there were a number of feedbacks which were shared with Microsoft company, and as a part of their commitment to improve the user experience, in 2019 December, not 19, sorry, in 2020 January, they had released a lot of. They had actually released the beta set, and they started rolling out the live updates to users, I think, in March. So as a part of this update, they have rolled out a number of advanced functionalities, and some of these advanced functionality actually start with X. So for example, X match. Okay, so this is a revamp of a match formula. Okay, this you will not find in your if you're using an ordinary version of Microsoft Excel. So I purposely avoided some of these formulas, because considering the fact that maybe not all of you may be on an advanced version of Excel, so respecting your versions, that's the reason why I decided to restrict some of these. That's the reason why I didn't even cover X match. Okay, but I feel I should cover XLOOKUP, because at some point of time, if at all, because respecting or if you think about the benefits of using this function, the potential is huge. So just to create an awareness, so at least tomorrow, if you get an experience, or if you get a chance to work on a system which supports XLOOKUP, you could leverage on this. So here, what I want to do is, I want Excel to do a reverse lookup. Okay, basically, I want Excel to do a lookup in this manner, not like this. So I will mention the name over here, name of the city over here, and based on the name of the city, I want Excel to give me the corresponding name of the participant, or name of the employee. So let's say I've given it as Patna, and how do I define it? I define Excel XLOOKUP using is equal to XLOOKUP, open bracket, select the lookup value. Okay, select the lookup value, comma. Now I have to define the array where my lookup value is located. So my lookup value is location. So I select this entire array, comma. Now what do I want as a return array? What do I want Excel to give me as a response? I want Excel to give me the names. So this is that array. This is the array that contains the name. Close the bracket. Okay, so it is Manish who's staying at Patna. So let me try and change this to another city. Let me change this to Lucknow and see what happens. Hari. Now, what if I make a mistake with the location name? It will not respond. It will say not applicable. Okay. Now, what if I want the lookup value or the return value to be different? Let's say I want the department. I want the name of the department. So in such cases, all that you have to do is you just have to change the return array. So my return array is, I want it to give me department. Now my return array is located in D2 to D9. D2 to D9, close the bracket and then press enter. So Patna, the person at Patna belongs to admin department. Okay, the person at Patna belongs to admin department. Okay, so this is how XLOOKUP works. So sir, I hope I've answered your query with regards to XLOOKUP. Any more questions?